is Tia, and I'm from Alexandria, Louisiana, and I'm 30 years old. I was born to a 15-year-old mother. She wanted nothing more than to give me a better life than she had. I lived in a small town. When I was 8 years old, we moved an hour away. We moved away from my family. At that point, I began to stay home alone after school. Whenever I was in 5th grade, I entered a non-denominational Christian school. I started to learn about who God was, but I did not have a personal relationship with Him. Whenever I was 14, I started using drugs. Whenever I was 16, I began to use harder drugs. Whenever I was 17, I married my ex-husband, my now ex-husband. Whenever I was 21, I had my first child, and she was my everything. I stayed at home with her. I devoted my life to her. Whenever she was born, my marriage began to fall apart. By the time she was 2.5, my ex-husband was cheating and really into an addiction himself. And by the time she was 4, my son was born. And when my son was 7 months old, I was getting a divorce. About a year after my divorce, my aunt committed suicide, and I began to use drugs on a daily basis. I went from being a soccer mom to selling drugs. In 1 year, I had been arrested 4 times. The 4th time that I was arrested, I was sentenced to a secular rehab. 10 months later, I was out and I had gotten my own apartment. I had gained back everything that I had lost materialistically, but there was still something missing. 16 months after I had began the journey of not using drugs and alcohol, I found myself using drugs again. And then a few months later, I found myself pregnant with my 3rd child and unmarried. I found out I was pregnant with my 3rd child, and I didn't want another baby. I really questioned whether or not keeping her or having an abortion. I'm so thankful that I decided to keep my daughter. I feel like if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be where I am today. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have the relationship that I have with Jesus. I wouldn't have entered Teen Challenge. Since I've entered Teen Challenge, God has really been working in my life. Now I have a personal relationship with Him. I no longer have to worry about the things that I did in my past. I know that they are forgiven. I know that my kids are okay even though they're not with me. I know that God is preparing me to be the godly mother that He wants me to be for all 3 of my children. In my future, I hope to see all 3 of my children and I living under the same roof. I hope to see all 4 of us having a personal relationship with Jesus. I hope to be able to minister to women and talk to women about the things that I've been through so that they know that they have a bright future ahead of them.